Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks, and somebody found this clip art, and it actually traced pretty well. I traced it in black and white, and it did a lot better than this. But the gentleman wants the feathers to all be the exact same size because he's going to cut it out of acrylic, and I guess and lay them in there. I don't really know because this looks pretty cool. This, I guess, done right, will look pretty cool too. I don't know how you could do this easily, but we're going to make a duplicate of that and move it over. And then I'm going to set my nudge factor on about the size of this. Let's say 5 inches. And I am going to left click, right click, and I'm going to make it a hairline so it'll be thinner. And then I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to make a duplicate and put one back. And then I'm going to mark kind of where the feathers are. And this is just thinking outside the box. The blend's not going to work. So the feathers go from about there to there. So if we cut with the virtual segment delete key, cut everything else out, we just have that marker. And now we can nudge it over twice. Get it over here. Let's get this one out of the way. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 feathers. So it'd be neat to kind of have them spaced out perfectly. So if we go to Windows and Dockers and Properties, we'll open up this and we'll go a curve, and that curve is only 3.3 inches long. And I can't remember how many there were. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what we need to do, there are already some nodes on there, so I can't really use nodes. Wonder what happens if we delete that and delete that and delete that. Because we can always reshape that. So if we add nodes, there are 2 nodes now, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now there's going to be too many. We can do this. We can have Corel count 17. I don't know how to get 11. Maybe we can delete every other one and just see what happens. And I'm just trying to get some spacing. So now there are, not counting, counting the first one. So it's actually saying 10. But they're not, to me, they don't look like they're spaced out far enough apart, but we're going to go with that. And then I'm going to bring in one of the feathers, actually one that I know that's pretty sharp and clean, and this would be the time that you would want to make sure it's good. Maybe take away that node, just give it a little bit of a more rounded feather look, and I would change that a little bit. Because if you want all the feathers the same, well, that's not going to work. And then we'll grab this node and bring this down. And let's say, so he just wants all the feathers the same. So we're going to say that, and I could have left it alone. So the first feather is actually like this. Let me move that out of the way again. It's over the bird's head. And we could always bring in the bird. That's one thing nice about the nudge distance. So our arch is still good. We haven't changed that any. And if we click on there, we have those nodes. So we're going to try to put that first one on that node. And it pop to it, but I don't think it's really good on there. Let's see if we can't get it to snap to that node. It says node, but I don't know if that's a node at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the center rotation to there. And I'm going to leave that one alone. Then I'm going to hit the plus key on the keyboard. And I'm going to, without a rotation mark, well, I didn't evidently make a good plus. Let's go Control D. I don't like using Control D in this atmosphere because, you know, that says midpoint, but I don't know. And then double click on it and move that rotation of that end of that feather. And then Control D again. Well, it worked kind of. We just need to rotate. I'm not going to worry about those nodes right now. Control D again. And then what we need to do is go ahead and get it in place. This is really unorthodox. This is basically manually placing it there, but it'll get him a start. And then you could always go back and tweak. I ended up not, wow. Well, that's pretty good. But they're further and further apart. So I don't like that. So let's, we can now, well, what's nice about it, we can move it. We can move these to our line. And I really should have put maybe little dash lines or click lines on my line. And then you could always, because we've duplicated, it's going to rotate. So let's do this one first and rotate a little bit closer to the feather. Click on this one. That's one thing nice about the duplication. Our rotation is going to be where we want it. I don't even know how many feathers we have yet. I'm trying to just look at my rotation. Whoop, grab the wrong skew. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 2 more. Control D. And because we've played around, it's not going to do it, but our rotation is still there, so we can rotate it. And like I say, and hopefully there might be a better way to do this. I tried the blend tool. You know, the blend would be the best because you could hopefully blend it to that path. And then if you just straighten out those feathers, you know, and I really mess the feathers up. I don't like them at all. And then if you put I keep wanting to call it a duck. And then you could play around with it once you got this fill in there and get those feathers, because I'm pretty sure you're going to cut this off or cut these out of acrylic, so you don't want these touching. And that might even be the part where you could contour them. But at least they're all the same. And what's good about this is center rotation is still there, so you could always tweak them a little bit and get them, you know, a little bit closer. Maybe somebody will chime in, somebody that is more of a graphic artist, and figure out how to blend them to there or do something. But I seriously like this one better. I just don't know any way to make all the feathers the same, because they are all the same. You know, if we test one, Control D and move it over here, that's it. Let's turn it to 0, and then move this one over here and turn it to 0. They're on top of each other, and we'll make one of them yellow. And evidently the one in the back is yellow. And so the feathers are all the same. Let's put the yellow one on top. So let's go Object, Order, front of page. Well, let's go back a page because I didn't know which one I had clicked. So the yellow is exactly on top of the black. We could actually do better by taking away all the fill. Let's move that out of the way for a second. See, I took away the fill on both of them, but let's do an outline and an outline in red and put it back. So the lines are on top. So all your feathers are going to be the same. You just rotate it around. I don't know if that helped him or not. And you could always, very easily make this peacock a little better around the, there, and especially around his eye. Um, make it look more like a even amount. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank